Hi everyone. I tried to get a better angle for you guys so that you could see the wreath and come down a little closer. I'm not sure if the lighting is good, but hopefully it all works out. So today I am going to show you guys how to do uh, the new butterfly wreath that I created. That was a smaller version of the larger one, which was uh, probably confusing. I've heard from many people that it was a little confusing. Um, I do want to eventually do another video because I have changed the way that I've done it, because before I did a lot of cutting, a lot of different sizes and things like that. But as I've made them more, I've sort of stuck with one or two sizes while I was doing it. So I I love the butterfly. I love the way that it looks, but it's really time consuming. It's a lot on my hands. Pretty sure it's a lot on everyone else's hand with all the cutting and twisting and things like that. And it's huge. It's huge. Someone really couldn't put it on their front door if they wanted to, because it usually measures like 32. I mean, like it can really get huge depending on what size you use. But anyway, I wanted to figure out how to make one a little smaller. So as you can see, I did. The video may not be perfect because I tried that one. I may play around with it a little more, but I just wanted to give you guys the idea of what I was doing. I tried something a little different with the center also this time. We don't have to do it. You can actually just you know, use whatever you wanted to use. Use the, I think on the larger one, we used an ornament on top of a mesh or a toilet paper roll, and then just kind of wrapped it with ribbon or spray painted it or whatever. This time I used the toilet paper roll, and I don't have it in front of me, but I will get it. And I used the empty mesh roll, a long one, and I had taken some of that brown paper that you could get, like that comes in like the gift wrapping paper or the shipping paper from the Dollar Tree. I got some of that, and I just kind of remember the old paper mache that we used to do. I did that. I just wrapped and squeezed, and I'll show you guys. I wrapped and squeezed and kind of Mod Podged just to kind of give it that little effect, and then I spray painted it. But let's get started. So I do have the one heart-shaped frame. I got mine when they were at the Dollar Tree. You see I'm just throwing stuff on the floor. When they were at the Dollar Tree, so that's where I got it from. But Hobby Lobby, I just went to Hobby Lobby. They actually have some, so you could get it from there, or Craft Outlet or somewhere. I have one of the plastic canvas grids, some pipe cleaners. I'm not really matching today. And then a couple of zip ties so we could use this. Some scissors, and I used I think 4 different colors. We're gonna see how it looks. Hopefully it comes out nice. If not, you can always change it up. And pretty much I cut everything at 10 by 10. I know in the store sometimes it's hard to get a 10-inch roll, so the 10 by 12 is fine. Your wingspan would just be a little longer. So the 10 by 12 is fine, or the 12 by 10 is fine. And then I cut a few pieces down to 6 by 6, 8 by 8. I know I promised you guys it wasn't going to be a lot of cutting. So it's not. It's only 3 pieces that you're going to cut, just so along the edges we could stagger the wing at the bottom. So to start, let's see. Instead, with the other butterfly, I can't talk. The other butterfly, we actually just cut out the plastic grid for the center. This time, excuse me, this time I decided to use it along the entire heart. I did that because, you know, when you attach it, sometimes it swings down. I guess this is probably like an 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11. So you can buy these bigger so that you can get all of yours down here. I didn't have that available So I'm just using this, but the bulk of it will have the plastic mesh behind it. I'm not really worried about this. We'll attach it in the back to make it more sturdy. I thought about a marker over here so that I can trace around it. I go through a whole lot trying to set up my camera so that you guys could see me and see me well. Let me get something, hold on. My little bitch. Okay, so again, all I do is take this and I trace around it just so that I can have the size. And these do come bigger, so you can definitely get this bigger so that it can fit your entire heart. But use what you have. We spend enough money. Even if you did this and you still felt like you wanted yours to come all the way down, it's pieces down there. You could attach it to the bottom so that your entire canvas, your entire heart can have the plastic grid on there. I'm just gonna cut this out. These are supposed to be my good scissors. Can't find the other ones. So I'm using these. Yeah. Michael's has a sale right now, so I'll go use my 50% off and get me some new scissors so my ribbon ends would be nice. So I just cut this out. I'll make sure I put the complete description in, especially the count of how many of the pieces that you need. But it's really, really simple compared to the first one. I'm gonna take my zip ties and I'm just gonna attach this to the back and make it as sturdy as possible. The good thing about this is that you're going to attach your wings to the plastic canvas, so it's gonna make it even more sturdier in the back. So you don't have to go crazy trying to put a whole bunch of these on there. So I normally just go from side to side so it won't buckle up in the back. Make sure you, I think when I did it, I did enough around the edge of the heart of the frame, and then I did go back and attach a few to the center because of course this doesn't lay flush up against the heart because of the different bars. So if you just want to make sure it's super sturdy on there, you could definitely do that. I usually press down, see how flimsy that is. But again, you are attaching your wings on there, so it will get firmer. get all, I would say the most important thing is get all the corners. Okay, after you put the zip ties on, of course, go use your scissors or wire cutters to clip them off, and this is what you're gonna get. I did add one down in the center just to make it a little more firmer. See. So next, initially when I did it, I just did it like I took the 10-inch roll, I'm sorry, the 10-inch square, and I folded it and then scrunched it. But I did it, this one is doing it, but this is a thicker mesh, so it will perform differently. It does a lot better when you're manipulating it because it doesn't fray as much. So when I use this one, if you could tell, this is like one from Michael's. And when I do that, sometimes I get a different effect. And I wanted the wings to kind of spread out more, look straighter this time than they did before. So what I did this time was just pulled it out. And I believe someone has a video and they do this method. And then I just kind of roll my hand in to get to the center. You're more than welcome to simply just do like the regular petal that you would do and fold the corners in. I then did the twist like this, did the next one, same thing. Forgive my dirty fingers, I just happen to look down. I've discovered I love painting, so I've been painting. So then I did another one, and I get this. I'm just going in front of the other one, like this, and, sorry, and I'm just going between the two. In, I believe that's Noble Touch, who has a tutorial how she does the flower petal bunches, like this. And then I'm just going in between the one that's in front. My hands are always in an awkward position, so forgive me. I'm going in between, so it'll be two in the front part, and you're kind of just putting the pipe cleaner in between those. And you're going to twist. Only 2.5 times. Something like that. I mixed up the colors, did a darker kind of at the tips of them. I had this idea to do this blue and purple, but it wasn't really what I was liking as I was doing it. So again, I'll show you. I cut these with the wood burner so that I can eliminate some of the fraying. You can use the rotary cutter thing and get the same effect, but the more you mess with it, if you cut it with scissors or if you cut it with that, you get a little more fraying. So again, all I did was pull the two ends of this is an actual 12 by 10, but do the 10 by 10 or the 12 by 10, and I kind of roll my finger in just so I could find the middle. And I scrunched. And I'm just twisting in front of. I thought about this way versus before we did all those individual petals. And that was just so much twisting and so time consuming. So I was like, oh, what if we do 4 on one petal and just make it bigger? Okay, same thing. I'm just taking the ends and I'm pulling. Be careful if you have really thin mesh because you will get some fraying on the end the harder you pull. Kind of like that. Just a little. So again, I had that like that. I'm going in front of that one, and then I'm wrapping it around in between the other one and cross over. I never have matching pipe cleaners. Sorry. I do, and then I'll get rid of them. Maybe I should, by now I should figure out what colors I use the most and stop buying those multicolor packs. And I'm twisting like two and a half. Move this sweat out the way. So I did the darker right there, and then I'm not gonna use any more blue. And I did this a couple more. I don't remember the exact number, so we'll go along. I think I did 4 bunches like this. So again, I'm pulling it. I'm rolling my finger. And I'm scrunching. I am twisting to get that effect. I'm gonna get my other ones that don't want to come apart. And holding it in my hand, same thing. And again, you could do single petals if you want. It's not as much as the larger butterfly wreath, so it won't be as time consuming. I know the first time I tried this method, I couldn't get these to stay in my hand for anything. So if that's you, just do a single petal and you just know that you're just gonna do a couple more. And I'm going between, it's 2 back here and it's 2 right there. I'm going in between, pushing them up. Pulling down. And I'm just twisting. I'll do, so that's 3 of those. What I then did, because I'm gonna do 1 more in the 4 bunch. I think I like the purple. So I brought in some gold. A little bit of gold. So again, I'm pulling. This mesh is fraying really bad. And I am scrunching. Twisting. Again with the gold. This is a little darker gold. And it was the end of the roll, so you see that. That's okay, we'll make it work. If you get to the end of the roll of any of your mesh and you're doing something like a flower or one of these butterflies, just when you finish, sit something on it. I have a lot of empty candles or candles that's half full, should I say. And those are perfect just to sit on top of there. This mesh is a little thicker, so a little harder for my messed up hands to get it. It's a really pretty gold though. Yeah, when you put it on, flatten it out and then sit something on top of it to kind of fluff so that it can settle down some and won't be as curly. Because you can pull all you want, but it's still gonna curl. So just lay something right, flatten it out how you want it, and then lay it down. So that's that. I'm going to, okay, let's do this. I was trying to debate if I wanted to do the bottom petals yet. I'm just gonna move all this over there. So on this, like I said, I did some darker ones, so I want those at the tip. And it's very similar to the first butterfly. So I went right in the corner, right at the curve, and I put in one of the sets, and I'm just twisting. You can see. So remember, you want your butterfly to come in like this. So make sure whatever you do on this side, you're doing on this side. I always end up being a little lopsided. This one always starts up higher, and then I end up coming more and slant that way. But that's okay if you do it right away. You can always adjust that. This one, and then I just come down. I went down to the next wire, and I'm not necessarily on the wire. I'm going right in front of it, and I'm going over maybe a ½ inch as I start to kind of go down. Now what I did find out, excuse me, see, because, well, the next one would cover that. But what I did find out, if I went on the wire, it was sticking up too much. But you may want that effect to make your wings look like they're flying out a little more. So if you want to go on that wire, that's fine too. I went right in front of it, just right in front of it. Okay. I'm just going to take my next one, and I'm going the opposite direction. Remember that the body of the butterfly is going to be right here. So we're going to put a couple of little smaller wings right there, but just know that the body is going to be right in between there. I don't know how many inches this is, so just be mindful when you're putting them down. I am then, with this one, I'm going over just a little, maybe an inch, but I'm still in between the same bar. You will figure out how to kind of lay them as you go. We can always move them. And remember, I have the smaller petals right there. The ones that looks, the bubbled petals that's going in the center, so you don't want to go too far down. See how the wings are already starting to kind of form. Bad because it's the end of the row, but we'll make that work. I'm going to take this one, and I am going up to the one closest to the center, and I'm going over a little bit because I want my wingspan like that. So this one is over that way. So all I did was kind of go in a slight zigzag just to make sure that the one that I'm covering the center part of the one that I put down before. Hopefully that makes sense to you. This one can go over the wire because it's not sticking up. What you can do, and I usually do that just so I can remember where my center is. I usually have an empty mesh roll somewhere around so I can be mindful of where my center is. Okay? I always end up doing one side and then going to the next, but since I already did did the top, some of the leaves, thinking of flowers. Since I did some of the petals prior to the video starting, I'll just go ahead and put them in. What I did find, the other butterfly that I did do, the mesh was a little thinner. So I did, just to do fillers, sorry, I'm very limited in space. I did a couple of single petals and I wanted them to be straight. So I did the same effect. I pulled it and I put it, I just did not attach two different mesh squares. I did one. And at the bottom, if you could see, because I wanted it to be straight, and maybe I used this, I wanted it to be straight. I didn't wrap in between. I wrapped around the bottom of the thing. I'll make sure I do one of these. So we'll add one, maybe right here. And anytime you're doing a wreath, you know you always have to kind of play with the look. You could put all your stuff in and think that it looks okay, and then when you sit it up and you look at it, you're kind of like, something's off. Something's a little off. So you're always gonna kind of adjust things. But if it's not full enough, my suggestion is to do a single petal. Again, we're coming over here. I gotta try to be mindful because I don't know anything about straight lines. And I'm going at the very top and I'm adding and the good thing about this, if you watch the other butterfly tutorial, it was my first tutorial. I was scared, so my explanation probably wasn't great, and that's probably why some people was like it was confusing and I had 50 million cuts. But I just kind of did it and went with it. So that one looks like it's sitting up a little higher, if you guys can see that. So we may adjust that. If not, then butterflies are meant to look sideways, right? So it could look like that one is just flying a different way. So it's perfectly fine. But the other one, the first butterfly tutorial that I did, I only put the plastic grid in the center. And what was happening was that this would slide. When you finished it, it was okay, because it would, it was okay because in the back you could attach it. I'm looking for my other piece, so forgive me. I have any blue, okay. So you could just attach them together and it would, I'm stopping in the middle of my sentence. And you, once you, like I was saying, once you did that, you could attach them in the back and made them more sturdy and they didn't slide. But sometimes when you're in the middle of it, you wanted to see it all in place. So that's why I thought that this would probably be a better way to do the entire one. So, okay. Do I have any more cut out for you guys? All right, and then we'll add this one. So I went over to my right just a little bit. I'm gonna come up some, right at that first wire. And let's be honest, there's probably no real way of putting these in. Everyone sees things differently. So once you have your petals cut out and attached, you can pretty much use the grid and lay it how you want to lay it. All right. Probably cut that one too short. I have to put something on this because it is gonna fly. This gold mesh is really, 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 really thick. Really thick. Didn't do enough of them. I do have, so that was only 3 on that side. I thought I did more. I do have a single petal, so I'll just add that for right now. Most butterflies aren't the same anyway. After I finish it, if it looks like it's not full enough, again, just take a single petal. I think I'm gonna move this top one. It's just, that blue mesh that I have is a 12-inch, and it is spanning too wide. So I'm just gonna take it and move it over just a little bit, so that it can come down. So, and although I'm telling you guys to do 10, like I said in the beginning, I keep saying like I said, sorry. It in most of the stores they're 12 inches, so you're just gonna have a longer span. So that is gonna bother me all while we're doing this. All right. So the bottom half, I do have another blue, but the bottom half, we did this. I doubled up some. I know for sure in the last one I did a total of 9 in here. So remember, if we're going to, my water bottle, we're going to do this. You may want to put yours down first, or you can just do it, put something down there just so that you can know where it will be, so that you can slide these far enough so you can hide this. Or you can, when you make your center, your body, make sure it's wide enough to cover it. Again, you could adjust it if you don't get one wide enough to cover up your pipe cleaner. If you did the colors that match, you have no problem. It'll cover up and blend in perfectly. So I just, I don't have a, excuse me, a roll. So for this, what I did was, okay, I played with these. So some of them I doubled up, some of them I did single. And I will, if you guys don't know how to do it, I'll do it quickly on how to make these. Again, this is, I chose to just do the purple, I think the purple and the pink, and then the gold was just the front part. I ran out of this because that's why that roll is so curly. So to double up on this petal, take one of the 2 colors that you want to use. I hope I cut enough. So you take the 10 by 10 square, you fold it into a triangle. This is a 12 by 10, as you can see, because it's not even, but it's fine. It's fine. Your biggest thing is making sure you get these points on the side good enough so that they don't show in the back. You do the second one and you just line it up as best as possible, close as possible. If you want yours to overlay and you can see it like that, you can always move it down. That way it'll have sort of that double effect, like it's coming out of there. And then I just push this out a little bit, and I take my finger and kind of guide myself down to that point. And when I told you that, let's see if you can see it over here. Let me do the other side and I'll show you. If you don't go far enough down in the purple, you can see it. See how that, if you don't match those corners up, this one actually sits up higher. But if you do that, because for some reason when I do these, sometimes I'll start on this side and this is really showing the uneven part. So all I do is just move this over a little bit and make this the first side, the dominant side, and then I scrunch to this way to make this. I did these all in different sizes, and the way you do that is just where you put your pipe cleaner. Oh, sorry, can't see me. So right here, I'll make this I'll go down and I'll do this. I'm putting a pipe cleaner around, can't talk, and I twist it enough that this does not come apart, because you are going to cut these ends off, and I use the tip of my thumb as a guide to where to cut it. If you did not put your pipe cleaner tight enough, this will slide right off. You see, I just throw everything on the floor. So that's one size. And then we'll take another one. I think I'll do the purple first. So again, you have your 10 by 10 or 12 by 10, and you're folding it into a triangle. And then you take the second one. I kind of put it on an angle so I can get it and don't lose track of the bottom one. So it won't come up. I put it on an angle so it could come down into a triangle. And again, you're lining these up like so. And I stretch it a little bit, and then come over. Like so. I go to this corner, to the corner, and start to push up. Scrunch together. So I told you guys I did this in sort of different sizes, just because when you put them down, they're gonna go in like a staggered, layered effect. So the way that you just do that, instead of me putting the pipe cleaner right there, and it will be the same size, it's probably not the same width, but same size, you can go longer, go down a little bit, and then you're gonna get a little longer one, or you can come up some, and then you'll get a little smaller one. So I'll do one longer one. And if you need to measure, and I'm twisting. I'm out of camera. Out of the camera. What I do a lot of times, I like how this would go, so I'll play with this sometimes and bend it so it can kind of have that effect. Instead of it looking straight, you gotta have a bend to it. All mesh will not do this. Some of it will, all of it don't. I kind of pull it a little bit because I like that curve, see? Versus it being straight. Okay, we got another one. Switch to that. Maybe I'll be different. I got a blue. I don't know if that'll totally throw it off. Let's see if it'll totally throw it off. The blue. This one really is uneven if you see that. But that's okay because it's gonna come in. You're gonna curve it in. It's the one, if you have one really uneven like that, if you're recutting it, just put it on the inside. Because you can hide that one a little better. Yeah. I'm taking that, folding it, and I'm gonna make this one a little smaller, so I scrunched in a little higher up than the other ones. Push it down. It's a little, this is the pipe cleaner that I cut in 3. So I'm pulling a little bit on one side just so I can kind of get that curve effect. And we're cutting. And then I did some that was just single, and I did, on this side I did all gold. I think I'm gonna mix it up. And because that would be so much gold just right in the center. And let me not lie to you guys. I don't have any more gold, so I gotta figure out how. I don't have this gold. I have more gold. I just don't have this gold. So, again, the single one, same way, except you're just not adding that. And again, I told you, this mesh is really, really big. It's really, probably would have been a really, really pretty Christmas wreath. Oh my God. Why use it all? I think I got it from Craig Backman sale. Backman. Am I saying it right? And I did the same thing with the single pieces. I made one a little bigger than the other ones. Again, I'm pulling a little bit just to get that curve sort of effect. It may stay, it may not. Let's see what else I have already available. I'll do 2 more pieces. Let's see. All right, let's get started. So again, remember you have something in the center. I did the double pieces at the top. I'm closest over here. So remember it's there. And I went right in front of, and I don't know how far that is. It's about half of my pointer finger where I started to put this down. I'm putting it in. I may have went over too. No, that's good. All right, twist that. I did different sizes. I should have looked at what the size before I put it in to make sure that I was doing it in a staggering sort of thing. So I wanted the longer one kind of up, and then the smaller one towards the bottom half. I'm going right next to the other one, and I'm going down to that's my left, right? And I'm putting it right in the center. It's a lot of pipe cleaners back here, so if you want to stop in between and start to attach some, make life easier. And I'm curving, but I'm going right next to that one. But I did a semi-curve right there. Sorry I can't explain that a little better, but I just went over. So they're lined up, but they're in a curve. I then have, remember our body. Then have and I started with the smaller one when I did the solid color one. So I'm going as if this is my actual body. So I'm trying to put this pipe cleaner as far under there as possible so that it could replicate. It's probably much, much, much easier to go ahead and attach your body, even if it's not the finished product. You can have something there. And let's see. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going in a curve, and I'm trying to remember that I have a body that's going right there so I can cover up that pipe cleaner. I then just went down, and I'm gonna mix up the colors. So I believe it was 9 on each side, so a total of 18 that we cut like this. This one, I'm just going to that next row. I'm sorry, not the next row. I should have did all these beforehand. This first wire, I am attaching this to it right along the side, because now what we want to do is make sure that we're coming back out this way in this angle. I'm going to put it on the last one. I mean, the second to the last wire. And attach. And remember, we're going in a slant now. This is a longer one, which is what I wanted. Remember, bottle. I wanted this to be longer, and I may need another one down here, but I put it on the second to last, all right above where the heart shape comes, the points come on the heart shape. This is the place where there aren't any, I don't have the plastic grid right there. I think I'm gonna put another one right there, because I wanted it to hang like this. For this, I'm going the exact same thing. I'm going in. I didn't cut enough stuff. And I'm doing this backwards. First, you gotta have you all do the wings first, so you don't have to dig inside in between the two. Let's see. As I said before, I keep saying that. Let me stop saying it. Okay, so we'll do a couple of the small wings. So what I thought when I did it was to just have the smaller wings. This is a little shorter than the one before it. That one is a little shorter, and then this is the shortest. So I just did 3. So I cut a couple of different, since I have purple right there, I'm not gonna do purple. I'll do a lighter purple, and then this funny color one I have. Not funny color, it's a pretty color, but different color one. A pinkish gold or something. Same thing. I think I made these flare more. I think I actually folded these together and did them. So I'm doing single petals. And instead of putting it in between, I simply had taken the end and wrapped around. Just so I can control that a little more. I keep wanting to pull. You could pull it, you could fold it, whatever's more comfortable to you. I only did it once, and I did a trial. That's it. I didn't try it again, and look at me doing what I told you I didn't want to do. I I'm going to fold this here and twist. Now I don't want to put a blue because that's too close to that one. This is a smaller one, so I'll use the purple. And same thing. Folding. Actually, I'm gonna pull this one. That mesh does not want to cooperate. Folding. And I'm wrapping it around. I'm not going in between. I'm wrapping around. So you can see which one, if you cut them. If you don't have to cut them like this because they do sell the 4 inches, right? So you can take the 4 inches and you can simply, let's go this way. This is why I should have showed you before instead of doing this. Cut. I'm still experimenting while I'm showing you guys how to do it. So when we get on this side, we'll make sure we do it the right way. So what I'm doing is going underneath this bubble petal, and I'm going right in front of that second wire to the end, and I'm coming in some because I want it to look like it's staggering down. So I'm going in a little deeper with this one, so it's in between the third wire and the second one. This peach one, I'm gonna go in. This one is a little shorter, and you're just trying to stagger. So if you have to go a little further in, I'll promise you all, when I do the other side, I'll do these first so that you can see. I'm trying to remember as I go. What did I do? Okay. So this one is about the same place in between the second and the third one. And then I went down. And this one, had I cut it shorter, which I should have, these are all going to be inside of this because this should have been probably up further, but I didn't want that double purple on top of it. So the shorter one should go at the bottom, so you can come closer to the edge, like so. So I'm going to go in just a little bit. I'm going right over that second wire. I'm putting it in. I'm twisting. See, that slides. I just want these to look like they're overlapping a little bit, and they're going down as such. I think I'm going to add another bubble part right there so that that can hang longer. One more right here. Okay. Play with it. We can play with it. It's okay. We're all learning. I might want this a little shorter. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's finish this up. I know on this side I told you guys I did this part first, and then I put the smaller ones over here. But this side I make sure that I do it the correct way so that you can see it. I'm not sure if I'm liking the blue right there, and I think that I need to actually put another one right here. So I already went ahead and did a couple of these so that you don't have to watch me folding. I'm just going to add another one right here. And if at any time what I'm explaining is confusing, don't hesitate to ask me. Sometimes I just get to talking and that's it, and don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so over here, we did add some smaller ones. I believe I cut most of these like 6 by 6, and I may played around with the smaller one and cut it a little shorter just so that I can have the effect that it is layering down. So over here, let's do this. I'm not sure if I want the blue down there. So I already cut some out. So I am going to, so that you guys can see, because I did these first. Over here, I went in and I'm going in to make sure, and this is why you want to cut them down a little smaller right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I wanted to make sure it comes like that. So I'm going into this the first or the inner wire, and I'm going to add this. Let's see. Same thing, this is a little longer, so I might want to make this a little shorter, or cut one shorter. For the sake of the video, I won't get up and start cutting again. So I'm just gonna go up on this a little more, just so that I can make sure it's a little shorter than the one prior to that. If you cut yours the right length, you would probably start more on the second one from the end, or the middle one, because it's only 3. So I'm going in just so I can show you all. So you may not place yours right here if you cut yours properly. And then I'll take another color. And I'm able to come out a little more because this is cut a little shorter. So again, all the rest of them are 12 by 10 or 10 by 10. If you can't find a 10 by 10, the 12 by 10 is fine. The only real, cuts, difficult, if you want to say, cuts are cutting down these 3. And I only did 3 right here. I cut these down just a little smaller. So I think I did a 6 by 6 or 8 by 6, and then just staggered down some. I did get a paper roll so that I could remember where this is at. And I don't think that in the beginning I explained that I made this one a little longer because I want that to be the tail part of it. So I made sure I made another one on this side to do the same thing. So remember where the body of it is. I did it the opposite way. I started this way and then I went out. I want to make sure you guys could see what I was doing. I'm only going to put one of these in right now because I want to remember where my body is on this side. So I'm going as far under my roll as possible so that I can hide the pipe cleaner when I do make my middle. It's only for a point of reference. If you already have yours made, your body made, keep it in there so that you can have a point of reference. Because you have to hide those pipe cleaners. Especially on those. The rest of them you could probably get away with. So on this side, again, we're just going right behind that one. If you want yours a little fuller, you always can make another row of these. You always can make a couple more wings to fill it in, to make it look fuller. And when I do these, remember I am going in a curve, but I'm lining them up, but I'm still making sure I stay in a curve. So that one is there, but I'm making sure that these pipe cleaners, where those are attached, are kind of starting to go in a little curve. I may have been all over the place with explaining this time, just like the last time, because I had only done it once. So I'm still figuring it out myself. Still figuring it out. I was just trying to get the video out. When I posted it, everyone wanted to see how I made it. So I wanted to make sure that I got the video out as fast as possible. I have all these pipe cleaners at the back, so they're scratching my hand. So I'm putting them through the grid and I'm just twisting. Did I start this one up too high? I think I did. But at this time, I think I was moving back some. I think I do, I always start I guess I start mine backwards because I'm really a visual person. So I need to see the form. So when I do it this way, I'm not sure, in my mind, I'm not sure if it's laying right. So I always have to sometimes I do the wreaths and I just go back opposite of how someone else would do it. And I know for the tutorial, I need to show you guys, step by step so that you don't have to squeeze your hand between, I'm taking this one off, between yours. And if you have pretty thin mesh, doing this will, just disturb the mesh some. Okay, so I'm just taking that one off. I'm coming back. I'm coming down to this, the second to the end or the middle. I keep saying second to the end. I realize there's only 3 anyway. So the middle. It's only 3 of them. So I'm just coming out a little more. If you put it on the wire, it is going to sit up a little more. If you go between the wire, it will lay a little flatter. And then this is my other bottom one that will hang down. And again, this one is not inside of the plastic grid, so it's going to move until you attach it to another one so that it can stay in place. I came down further. Let's go back up. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I have messages popping across. Okay. I don't have enough gold. So we're gonna have to make, so now I'm just coming in, adding, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Now I'm adding the single petal row with all the gold. And I'm coming down. Now, I may not need all 4 on this side. Maybe I ought to play that off. But I do need to make sure that I'm covering up the row before it or behind it, however you're looking at it. That's probably really gappy. Maybe what I'll do, I am completely out of that gold. I either can use another piece of gold or just do something different right there. So I'm gonna use another, oops, I think I cut this too short. Let's see if I have another piece. Okay, I'm just using my mesh roll. And I'm just gonna make one of these pink pieces to fill in for the last gold piece I do not have. So if you guys remember, just fold it in triangle, stretched out a little bit, and I am curving over. Remember to twist that pretty tight. We'll see how this comes out. The more that I'm working on it, I'm kind of like, maybe I got too many colors going on here that just aren't blending well. My pipe cleaner is way too little. All right. So you see right here that there's a lot of room, and I may need to go in and add another one. And remember, I told you before that if you see it's not full enough, then you just go and add single petals if you need to. I think before I moved that one because I thought that the wingspan was a little too long, and now it's not full enough. And when I'm doing my single petal, I'm not going through the middle, but you can. I want to guide where mines go, and if you put it through the middle, it spreads open a little more. But I want to make sure that this part is full, so I don't have to add many more in here. I'm just going to go right above this and add that in. All these short pipe cleaners that I have that don't want to twist on. Okay. So along here, remember your body is going to come up some. Along here, I cut same thing that I did on the sides. I did a couple of 4x6s and I'm sorry, 6x6s and 8x6s just because I want, I'm just gonna fill this in. I don't want it to be overwhelming and take over where the head is gonna be. And I'm not going on the wire because I want it to lay flatter right there. I'm making sure, uh-oh, I'm almost falling. I just want it to lay flat. And if I go on top of one of the wires, it's gonna stick out a little more. I'm just trying to fill in space. So I think I did 2, but whatever you think that you need to make that fill in this space right here. Remember, you are gonna cover the back with some felt or something. I might need to add another there. That's okay. Drop it. I made the body of the last one pretty thick, so although you could see that, I wrapped it around a little more. And I'll move that. Maybe I'll add another one of those up there. Since I have one right here, maybe I'll do it different. Something different right there. Because that's not filling in. Again, I'm going on the other side. Fill it in. Oops. And I'm scrunching. My big mix bag of pipe cleaners. With none of the great colors. And I'm just gonna make, because I do have one that's not gold in the center here, I'm gonna make one that go up here. I think I had one more of something. Let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will because I cut it shorter. I don't have any more ready to go. If you make wreaths on a regular, you know that you improvise with whatever you have, right? Because we're always in the middle of making something and then possibly run out of it. So we gotta make do with what we have. Oops. I'm just filling this one in a little bit right here. There we go. I'm pretty sure when you do yours too, you're gonna use pipe cleaners that match the color of the mesh that you use, so you won't be like me. And then the last piece. So this is pretty much it. This is the butterfly. And what I did, I'm going to show you, since these are moving around, if your pipe cleaner was long enough, you could always try to go through the grid that you had already down there, attach these two, or just wrap it around the wire. And it should make it not slide as much. But you see how, I mean, if you have enough room, have a pipe cleaner that's long enough that was attached to the grid, you can just attach it to there so that you can keep those from sliding everywhere. And I don't, mine isn't big enough, but I'm just gonna wrap it around. Of course, you're gonna go and clean this up in the back and just twist and attach them. You can cut them down some. And when you finish doing all of that, put a piece of felt on it, clean it up, make it pretty in the back, or as pretty as possible in the back. So twist all these together so that they can lay down. You don't want to sell this to anyone or give it to anyone. And all of these are sticking out. The pipe cleaners are sticky on, or pointy on the end, and it'll scratch their door. So in the one, the one that I showed the other day, I was really using my craft hat. So I had taken one of these, and what I did was, like, it's a space right there. What I did was, I had taken some of the, you know, this brown shipping paper. I had taken that. Now this is the messy part. I had taken that and I just started ripping it. I ripped it up just so I could get random pieces. And I am gonna have a dirty hand because then I had taken, this is some Mod Podge, or you could, I mean, this is decoupage, but you could take Mod Podge or something. I don't have a thing over there. Don't do that. Don't stick it in there. So I'm just trying to get my paper a little wet because I don't have a brush or anything. So all I did was I just started wrapping this around, making different effects with it, making sure that my head was a little rounded, at least from the front, even if you don't. I got really messy doing this. I mean, really messy. Because I wanted it big, I ripped it, I did a little bit of everything. You don't have to do all that. I was just trying to get a different look for that center. You could just take the roll, the empty mesh roll. I'm trying to get some glue. The empty mesh roll, and simply wrap ribbon around it. So yeah, this is all I did. Just kept going, adding glue, just trying to do it. Stick my hand here. Yeah, I'll pour some on here. I hate to waste that. That's not cheap. The Mod Podge is cheap, so you can play with that. And you know this, we did all these crafts when we were little, taking Mod Podge and taking paper bags and making stuff out of them. So I just kept doing it, twisting my bag. This is actually, I can't rip. I'm gonna cut it because I want to sort of form the shape of a head or something. Something that distinguish it from the rest. Didn't twist everything the same way. So I did that. I added more. I like planning glue. I added more to the middle part to make it stick out a little more. So I just crunched the paper, crunched it, and just kept twisting just to get that effect. And I did make sure I had a little tail or something at the back. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know if I truly liked it. It was okay. And after I did that, I let this dry a little bit. And then I painted, I spray painted it gold. I have no idea what color I should do this one. Definitely not gold because it's not going to really show. I'm not doing a good job of showing you guys, but I just kept twisting. And so I got a shape that I liked. And that it was wide enough. And I made sure that I had some at the bottom. I'll bring this up to keep my little effect. Stuff in it. Don't give me a thumbs down because of this. I'm making a mess. I just wanted it to look like it had a little tail or something hanging from the bottom half of it. I was really messy when I did this. I'm being good right now. I want to show you guys I like playing in glue. Do you guys like playing in glue? Then you can take it and peel it off your hands. And remember, if you're making a tail or something that you did unless you made your head completely round. I only kind of did it. See, I did it that way because I know it's going to lay flat on there. What I did find difficult, though, by doing this was how am I going to attach this? So before it completely dried, I added a wire to the back and so that I could attach it in the middle. And after I painted it, I added 2 eyeballs and then, of course, put your antennas on there. So I continue to stack up my body part just so that it could be a little, here, we'll do that, a little wider. I'm crumbling because I didn't want it to look like it was simply a piece of bag or something wrapped around. I wanted it to have some type of texture to it. I even tried to spray paint, like wrap something and spray paint it so it could have lines or something, but it didn't. That didn't work out. So I'll keep working on this. I'll keep trying to perfect that middle part. Until then, we can simply just, got a little glue on here. We can simply just use the roll and wrap some ribbon around it. Put some antennas and some eyeballs on and call it a day. So this is what we have. The little butterfly on a single, you see, on a single heart-shaped frame. And when you look at it, if you need to adjust any of these, you can do it. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna clean up now. I have glue everywhere. I like to peel it. I'm gonna find some another body or something that I have just so I could post it and show you, so I could get this video up today. Thank you again. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a message. You can inbox me or whatever. I try to respond right away. But I enjoyed it. Thank you.